Good afternoon. How is everybody doing? For those of you who may not know me, my name is Renarda Joy, and for 30 days, I have committed to giving you tools, tips, and insight for those of you who are new to real estate investing. Now, my mission is to shrink the intergenerational wealth gap through real estate investing, and I have been using this platform to sound the alarm. Now, if you're just joining us, we are on day 28 of our 30-day series, and I can't believe we're here. But if you've missed any of our conversations, I want to personally invite you to go back and listen to those conversations. And if you've gotten any value or if you have any questions, please feel free to leave it in the comment section. Now, for those of you who are here, I want to know what's your name, where you from, and what value have you gotten with us, as I know some of you have been with me since day one. Now, today's conversation is about cash flow. Yes, we've talked about cash flow a few weeks ago, but there's something else that I want to include with that. And if you've missed that conversation again, you can go back and listen to, I think it may be day 15, day 16, but don't quote me. Just go binge watch all of them. They're not that long. But today I want to talk a little bit more about cash flow, right? So we talked about cash flow is what you end up with after you've taken care of your expenses. Let's go back and revisit our example. We said, suppose you bought a duplex, right? A duplex is just a 2 unit or a 2 family, however you want to look at it. And each unit is fully occupied and you're getting $850 per unit. That's $1,700 per month. Hey, Rosalind from NYC. So that's $1,700 each month for the rent, right? And in our example, we said our expenses was about $1,200. That included our mortgage, taxes, and other reoccurring expenses. But what I forgot to mention to you is you also have to take into account for CapEx. CapEx stands for capital expenditures, right? Let me give you some example of capital expenditures. It could be your HVAC system, which stands for heating, ventilation, and air conditioner system. It could be your roof. A roof typically lasts for about 30 years. This is why it's so important, and I keep emphasizing to you, do not waive the inspection period because the inspector will be able to tell you everything there is about the house. They'll be able to tell you how much life does this roof have left? Do I have another 10 years? Does the roof look good? It's pretty new. It was done right. It wasn't done. It's done incorrectly. He or she will be able to give you that rundown. Of course, with the roof, you can patch it, but you can only do so much patching before you actually have to replace it. So it's important to know the lifespan of the roof. Some other CapEx could be your plumbing or your electrical. And it's not a matter of if you'll have to replace these things, it's a matter of when. But how do you compute CapEx? CapEx is typically 8 to 10% of your cash flow, your actual your actually rent that you're getting as your cash flow. So let's say 10% of 1,700 is $170. Each month, you should be setting aside $170 in a separate account just for capital expenditures because you never know when these things are going to take place. Now, remember, you are already setting aside just your reserves, right? But your reserves are set aside for, let's say you have to cover a vacancy, or let's say you have to do a small project like maybe changing locks or replacing a window. It's not meant for like big projects. That's why you have to set aside your capital expenditures. And I also want to tell you, each year that you increase your rent, you should increase your capital expenditures just to make sure that you can cover the expense. Because the last thing you want to do is, let's say the roof is going to cost you $30,000. You may not have enough set aside in your reserves to cover that. So now you're going to have to get a loan, or you're going to have to do some other options. So I'm trying to prevent that for you. That's my thing. I love to do preventive maintenance, and this is one of those things that you can prevent because you're going to forecast this, right? Remember, this isn't a business. This is a business. It's not a hobby. So you have to be forward thinking. You have to forecast for things that could come up in the future. So I hope that I didn't confuse you. Let's just recap again. You have to set aside CapEx each month that you're collecting rent. I know that you're setting aside reserves. Reserves are just meant for covering vacancies or small projects, whereas capital expenditures are for the bigger projects like your roof, your heating system, your plumbing, and your electrical. And you should set aside this amount in a separate bank account so that when it's time to replace it, you automatically have it. And again, each year that you increase your rent, you should increase your capital expenditure amount each month. So again, I hope that this has been helpful. If you need clarification or if you have any other questions for me, please feel free to leave it in the comments. Now, if you're watching this outside of my business Facebook group, I invite you to come back and join me at renardajoylive.com. That's renardajoylive.com. Now, understand, I don't want you to join for the likes. I want you to join so that you can help me get the word out there, sound the alarm to let everybody know we have to change the narrative. We have to change the trajectory of each of our generations, and it starts with you. So remember, my goal is to create what I call an informed investor, a legacy setter. So I hope that this has been helpful. If you're just joining us, we are wrapping up day 28 of our 30-day series. I can't wait to see you guys tomorrow. I have some exciting updates that I just can't wait to share with you guys. So be sure to tune in tomorrow, same time, 6 p.m. EST. Have a good night and see you tomorrow.